Schlosser works on the Sally Foster Jones team at John Arrow. Meredith, everyone say hello.
Hello. Hello.
Why don't you give the group a little background? You grew up East Coast?
Yeah, so I'm a little coming off of a cold, so I sound a little bit weird, but I'm born and raised in New York. Grew up in Long Island in a small town and moved to Manhattan, New York at 21. Got into real estate at 25. Started with the Corcoran Group over there for 2 years and then moved to LA just right after I turned 27 and I just turned 33. So I've been here for 6 years, yeah.
All right, so you sold in New York for 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Started to have some success there, right?
Yes, but in mostly higher end rentals, which is a totally different animal than selling, because in New York you get paid a lot on the rental fees. Yeah.
And I remember the day you came in and interviewed with Sally, and Sally's like, "Oh, we really like her, but she doesn't know shit."
Right.
Right?
Right. No, didn't know anything. Yeah.
Didn't know anything, and so we went back and forth, because it's hard to bring someone new onto a team. A team's not prepared to train you. And so you said, all right, we're going to take this flyer. We really like her. We believe in her. So you show up.
Yeah.
What did it feel like in the beginning for you? What were the first few months like?
Really scary. I honestly cried every single day for the first year, probably getting up and just tons of emotions. And I moved out here I was in a relationship, which now I'm still in, thank God. Almost fell out a bunch of times, but just why did I do this? What am I doing? And got super depressed. Had no clue. I mean, I hadn't driven a car because I was living in Manhattan, so I got my car, I got my license.
You don't need a car in LA, do you?
I got on the 405, I was like crying in the car. I had to pull over. I haven't driven since I was 19, 18. So and then I just had no idea where I was going. I said it very well to someone the other day. I said, I came to sell a city that I didn't know, right? I wasn't selling cars in New York and selling cars in LA. I came to sell a city that I didn't know anything about, didn't know my way around. I knew 2 people. I had been here maybe 3 times before I moved. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but what the fuck am I thinking? Like, why did I just do this? It was for the first year and a half, I was miserable, yeah. And
so you were questioning your decision for a year and a half, or?
Yeah, I was like the closet eater. I gained 29 pounds, if you want to be exact. I was stopping came from being extremely healthy and active in New York, and then just was stopping at McDonald's and Popeyes, and just which Popeyes is amazing. Popeyes is the best, yeah. But, and throw out the fries before I got home, so my fiance was like, what are you doing? It was pretty bad.
You're a pretty high-strung person, right?
Yeah, that's an understatement, yeah.
Okay. Very emotional.
Neurotic, yeah.
Okay.
Totally. OCD, yeah.
All right. And so a rough year and a half.
Yeah.
And did you sell any houses in that first year?
I moved here August 31st, 2011. I didn't get my license until February 27th. I sold, let's start 2012. Okay. So January of 2012, I sold 5 houses. I looked at my numbers last night, 5.2 million my first year.
All right, and how did you feel about that?
I felt great. I didn't know what I was doing. I was asking Nicole and everybody on the team, all these questions. I didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know anything, really. And it felt awesome. I mean, it felt great, to obviously close those deals in areas that I didn't know where the hell I was. I just, was door knocking. Really, you told me to door knock. I was like, what is door knocking? I can't door knock in New York City. What do you mean? What does this mean? You walk up to the house, okay, sure, I'll do it. I was naive, and I think that was a blessing in a way, because now I feel like I think too much before I do it sometimes. And
so 5 houses in that first full year.
Yeah.
And then kind of walk us through the progression.
So 2012, I did 5 million. 2013, I did 8 million. I mean, I sold maybe 9 houses. sorry, but 2014, I had a really crazy year. I had a couple really big clients. I jumped to 32 million. And
so
then
from
I had
8 million
from 8 million to like 32 million. I had like a crazy year. Yeah, I think it just started clicking, and I just started not giving a shit. And I was working 7 days a week. I had no life. Then I had my, okay, 2014, 2015, my son was born in July, so I like, kind of crashed then. I went down to like 20 million. And then last year I did, for the year, 35 million. And then this year I've closed 50 million year to date.
All right. And you're a neurotic mess.
Yeah, I was raised by a Jewish mother, typical, if anyone in here knows, Jewish New York mother. Okay. So that's a different few words to describe her.
So how would you describe your mindset?
I'm just, I relate to a lot of what Dennis said about fear. I'm totally neurotic OCD, which I think makes me who I am, because I'm a perfectionist. And I'm driven because I have no safety net. My fiance and I were both, bringing in for the family, and we, have a lot of obviously bills and payments, and now I have a kid. Jeez, I have to pay for this kid, it's expensive. Especially schools in LA, preschool. Anyways, I just go every day, and I fear, like he said, of what if I don't have another deal? And you know that better than anybody. And even when it's really good, is it good enough? And I think that's something I need to work on. But just being like, I love the thrill of the deal. I love when there's a million people calling, and there's the multiple offers, and you're doing all these things, and that you're crushing it for your client, and it drives me every day for sure to know that I'm making a difference in someone's life and helping them get
You love doing a great job for your clients.
Yes.
Talk about that.
I'm just really, like I said, I'm a perfectionist, so I know the experience of how nerve-wracking it can be to sell or buy a house. So for me, every step has to be perfect. So for me, when I'm representing a seller, it's like, okay, it's all happening before they ask me. And I think that being one step ahead, no one really ever is. At least when I look at my peers and I see what's going on, it's like just thinking 10 steps ahead. And the client, when you call them already, when there's already like, you haven't talked to them for 3 days and you put the property and you're like, oh, I already have 5 offers. Like, that feels so good because you did your job. Right? Like, that you did your job. And I think that that's what just gets me to keep going on to the next.
And you are an absolute pit bull.
Yeah.
You get a lead.
Yeah.
You do not let go. You're going to run that person into the ground until they say yes.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I was joking with someone the other day. I'm like, everything like you ever think about with dating is like the total opposite with this business. I feel like I don't give a shit if someone told me like, no, I'm not selling with you like 4 times, because 4 times this year, I've now gotten people coming back to me that went to Joe Schmo because he was doing lower commission, and they're literally coming back being like, hey, so he didn't do what he said he was going to do, or I didn't get this or that. I just don't let go, and I feel that in this business, when someone tells you no, that doesn't mean anything. You just have to keep going, because no just means you're one step, in my opinion, closer to yes, because you have to just keep going.
All right, so
yeah.
Balance this out for me. On one hand, you're fearful as hell.
Yeah.
The world's going to end tomorrow. You're never selling another home.
Yeah.
You're going to be broke. It's going to be you and your son in a shopping cart out on the street, right?
Home Depot, yeah. Popeyes, yeah, totally.
All right, and with the French fries this time, right?
Right.
So you got that going on one hand,
Right.
and then on the other hand, no means nothing to you. No just means keep going.
Yeah.
How-
I think that it's confidence, it's self-esteem, which I didn't have the first couple years out here, and I think that you just keep telling yourself, like, I will get that deal. I will get that buyer. I will get that seller. And you may not get that one that was a total dick and that was like, oh, I'm going to this person because he's done 100 deals this year and you're newer and this. I don't care. Like, I'll prove them wrong, because those bigger agents that you guys may lose the listings to, because that's happened to me over and over, it still does every day, they're not treating their clients like you will. And you will hold their hand throughout that deal. And that's what clients love. They want to feel important. It's like a relationship. It constantly has to be nourished. And when you don't nourish a relationship, you don't nourish a client, they feel lost, they feel helpless, they feel scared. You know, they want you to tell them you're beautiful. You know, I'm joking, but like they want to know that they're being taken care of. And a lot of agents, these bigger agents, they don't even talk to their clients. They don't even communicate with their clients.
So you're very competitive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you relish it, though. I mean, you enjoy competing.
Yes.
And you believe you can go up against anybody.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think that I have more to offer. You know, I'm.
You don't know shit. You're only in the business. They've done thousands of deals. Well, why do you know? Why are you better?
I just think that I care more. You know, I care more. I'm excited. Yes, I'm younger. I haven't been in the business. I'm excited about this business. I'm jaded a little bit, but there's a lot of agents that are burnt out, and you know they're burnt out. And they're giving away their commission because they're burnt out, because they just want to pass it off. I just know that every step of the deal, I will attack. I will attack the appraisal when it comes in low. I will attack the inspections when they come in all jacked up and they want to renegotiate. When they don't get approved with the first lender, what do we do? You know, it's every step. I sell that to the client. How do I answer the call when they say, do you have any offers yet? Everything's a negotiation. And the negotiation part of this business, I feel like, is the hardest to master. But it's your confidence and it's your personality with that seller sitting at that table.
You love to negotiate.
I love to negotiate, yeah.
Why?
It's a game. It's a psychological game.
And so talk about what's going on in your head. Do you think about it beforehand? Do you have a strategy going in? Walk us through.
It just depends on the person. It depends on the situation. I feel like there's no rules. You know, we all grew up in school with, oh, this is right and this is wrong and whatever. There's no rules in negotiating. It's just, I lie all the time. I bullshit all the time, you know? It's like, it doesn't matter. I mean, to an extent, right? Like when you don't have an offer, you can't say you have an offer, but you know, you have to figure it out. But it just depends on the person. I think it's reading that other person. If you're representing the seller, buyer's agent's calling, feel them out. Where is their top line? Where are they going to stop? You know, what is their stopping point? Same thing with the seller. When they hassle you on commission, where are they willing to walk away to go to the next person, the next Remax or whatever, you know, Redfin agent? There's always a bottom line. Push until you can't push any more, until you get what you want. That's what I do in all aspects of my life, I feel like.
All right, say that again. Push until you...
Push until you don't think you can push anymore. That's what I do. And in all aspects of my life, at the gym, with my kid, with my relationship, with my parents, I mean, until you're going to be pushed away, you know? You don't want to go too far.
So it's so interesting. On one hand, you're fearful. On the other hand, you're fearless.
Yeah. It's weird, right? Yeah.
It is.
That's a good point, yeah.
And what do you see in other agents when you're negotiating? What do you see on the other side of the table?
Just a lot of ego all the time. A lot of ego, a lot of ignorance, and really lack of knowledge. I feel like you really have to do your homework when you're working with a buyer or a seller, you know, and knowing what the inspections are, knowing that they're asking for X, Y, and Z, but you know it's not going to cost that. You know, like people try to one-up you all the time in this business.
And how did you learn you know, you came in knowing nothing, not living here. What were some of the things that you did to learn this business?
Fall flat on my face a lot of times, really. I mean,
And what did that do for you?
Just made me better, not asking for the right things, not checking my work and my contracts, you know, like, did you check off that the seller is paying for all of the taxes? Oh, well, shit, no, I left off that. You know, it's like all of the things that you learn and just asking so many questions and being really annoying about it. Like anybody that you can, your manager, anybody that you know, what can you ask them? What can you learn from them? Someone that's done more deals than you, or someone that maybe hasn't but is very thorough in what they do. I feel like you can learn from everybody around you, and I'm just constantly still asking
So
questions.
you made lots of mistakes, and you made sure you learned from every mistake.
Right, yeah.
And you ask, and just like you won't take no for an answer, you'll keep asking questions,
Yeah.
even to the point of
Right.
annoying the shit out of
Yeah.
Sally or Nicole,
All the time, yeah.
because you want to get an
I just
answer.
want to get better. I just feel that every deal I do, I can get better. there's so much I still don't know. I mean, sometimes there's things that come up in the closing statement. I'm like, wait, what's that? Like, I just learned yesterday, the inspector didn't check that the dishwasher drains. Well, it worked, but it didn't drain. Now I have a guy calling me flipping out about his dishwasher. It's like, it's like, I'm just saying, like the little things, there's so much stuff. It all adds up for sure, so.
How has being on a team, how is that?
The team.
What's the experience that you've gotten from being on a team?
I like being on a team because I feel like we all rally together. You have your resources. I mean, Sally's team has so many people as far as staff, so transaction, marketing, listing coordinator, showing assistants. There's so many people that, I just have one assistant. So for me, I'm on my payroll, it's just one assistant. Sally has, 10 people that she.
So support has been a benefit?
Support's been huge. Just is a lot less that I need to think about, but I still make sure I manage the deal, right? Like I'm still managing everything, but I'm less involved in some of that, but I'm always involved with the client.
Now, Sally has a different temperament than you.
Yeah.
What have you learned being around Sally?
Just like whatever, like let it go. Like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. When I first start every deal, there's so much money on the line that like you're like, oh my God, I'm losing. And deals would cancel, and I would go home and cry and cry. I'd get all depressed, Popeyes, whatever. But then, now it's like I go work out. Now I just beat the shit out of a punching bag. But like, she doesn't care. She's like, oh, whatever. It's like, no, it's not whatever. She just doesn't care. She's like, oh, there's another one. There'll be another one. But she does like, 200 deals a year where one off the belt is not a big deal. But I think just letting things go, and I said to you last week on the phone, I'm like, it's good, like life's good, like I'm doing good, things are good, and not everyone's gonna like me, not everyone's gonna refer me. No matter how good of a job you do, you could do 100 things right, and one thing goes wrong, and you'll never get a referral from that person. Even if it's not your fault, you still will never get a referral from that person. So.
Do you feel yourself growing, maturing, changing at all in terms of?
Yes.
In what ways?
Just more confident when I talk about the business, when I just knowing values of houses and condos and what things should or shouldn't sell for the process, more confident on everything about the deal, and just more confident about me, of who I am as an agent, and I know what all the other agents are doing. They're turning off their phones on Saturdays or Friday nights, or not me. I don't. I don't turn off my phone. I don't.
You're 24/7. I'm proud of it.
Proud. I'm working towards not being 24/7. I try to shut off sometimes.
Does anything intimidate you in this business?
Yeah, people that have been doing way more than me, of course.
Do they intimidate you or fire you up?
I think they motivate me.
Right.
It motivates me to be better. To get to that level, because. I remember when I first moved here, I watched Stephanie Younger up on stage. I'm like, wow, it must feel good. Look at what she's accomplished. It must feel really good. And it's awesome. It's awesome to be up here with everybody. And yeah, it motivates me for sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Questions for Meredith?
So
Hold on. Before we do that, Jasmine, stand up. You worked with her for how long?
2 years, literally solid 2
And she
years.
beat you to a pulp, right?
Yes, very, very much so.
How would you describe Meredith?
She, honestly, she's she door knocks, she's such a hustler, and I think working with her really, really made me value not caring that people are shutting you out, not caring that people are saying, oh no, I'm not going to work with I'm going to work with somebody else that is more experienced. It never affected her. Sometimes I would see her down, but she was like, you know what, I'm just going to go on to the next door. And I remember knocking with her, and she'd be like, oh, whatever. It was no big deal, and I would be like, oh, she's so rude. That lady was so rude to you, but she really was just, hustler. I think every day she just tried to be better every day, really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, question. Your name again?
I'm Jared.
Jared.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. So I guess my big question, definitely resonating with someone who's kind of coming to a new city. How did you just deal with the grind of like the constant like, there's a new area to explore. How did you just deal with all that ambiguity?
I mean, I just would literally pick an area and go on the MLS and drive the area and caravan or open houses or just go into as many properties as you can and learn as much as you can. And research the data. What is trading? What is selling at? Set up searches on your MLS to see what things are going for. If you want to pick certain areas, you don't want to spread yourself too thin, because then what are you really specializing in? That's what I realized. I was trying to spread myself way too thin, and I was like, what am I doing? I can't be an expert in Hancock Park, Sherman Oaks, and Playa Vista, because they're so much better than me in those areas. So I think just focus on, try to go see as much as you can.
Yeah, like I've done I think it's called HSC Plus or whatever it is, where it just alerts me every time.
Smart.
And that was actually more for a listing that I was working on, but then just through there I can empathize with kind of, I see it more like instead of being horizontally knowledgeable, being more like vertically knowledgeable in one area.
There's not a right or wrong. She is spread in a lot of areas, correct?
Yeah.
You know, because she's part of a team that, so you have some people who, it happens organically. You either organically focus on a specific area or you let your people, your clients drive where you go. So there's not a right or wrong. You just have to figure out which direction feels best.
Cool. Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Tracy?
Thank you. Hi, I'm
Hi.
Tracy Fader. Thanks for
Nice to meet you.
speaking.
Yeah. thank you.
Very motivating.
Thank
Can
you.
you share a little bit about what your prospecting schedule is? Door knocking schedule, how often you do that?
Well, if you ask my assistant now, she'll tell you I haven't been in 2 weeks, but prospecting, I try to set up a time in my schedule. I've had a lot going on, so I haven't been, but that's no excuse. I really try to set up a time. Prospecting, I used to be like, oh, it's only door knocking, but now I just bang out calls. I'll make 5 lunches in a week. That's prospecting. Quality time with people is still prospecting. An hour lunch, a coffee. I try to never eat lunch alone. If you read that book, Never Eat Alone. Never eat lunch, coffee, breakfast, just making connections with people. It's not just door knocking. I mean, door knocking is great because it's immediate, but
It's how you got started.
it's how I got started.
And now
and
you
now
prospect all the time.
I prospect all the time.
It's a mindset, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You'll talk to anyone, anywhere about real estate.
Yes.
You sniff a deal,
Yeah.
you're in.
I mean, events, parties, anything, but door knocking is the best
She is
way.
always looking for business.
Yeah.
She's got the antenna up all the time, and she is not bashful, as you can see.
Yeah. I would just set it in your calendar. Try not to delete it too many times.
Barbara?
Hi, Meredith. I'm Barbara Radke, and I just want to thank you. It was just so great to hear you speak.
you.
And I'd love to be able to refer you business. I'm curious, what areas are your specialty?
I mean, right now, West Side LA, I have deals in Playa Vista, Santa Monica, Westchester, Marina.
She'll go anywhere on the west side.
Yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere. My car a lot, yeah. Thank you, though, for that. That was really nice.
So my name's Heather. Since
Hi.
you have a kid, what does
Yeah.
your morning look like?
That's why I work so hard to pay for my nanny, honestly. It's crazy. I try to set up time with him. He wakes up at 7:30 if I'm lucky. So I get up at like 7-ish, 6:30 some days. I try to spend, an hour at least in the morning with him, breakfast time, no phone. Now he says no phone, mama. I'm like, oh shit, he's telling me to put the phone away. I need to put the phone away. At least sometime in the morning. I try to stop home for lunch. This is like maybe once a week if I can. And then I really try to always be home for dinner, and then I play with him, and I shut out from like 6:30 to like 8:30. I kind of just put my phone away. In the morning, my phone's away. But I have a nanny. I have an amazing nanny. My other half and I both work like a lot. So yeah, 7 days a week I have a nanny, but I'm with him on Saturdays. That's my day off. Yeah, day off.
That answer your
Quotes.
question?
Yeah. Thank you.
Your name?
My name's Tanner. With door knocking, are you selecting a farm area and just knocking that farm, or are you doing selective door knocking or just continuous?
Mostly lately, it's when I sell a house, I go and let everybody know. If I have a new listing, I let everybody know. It's just staying current, right? So either you just sold, you want to offer some kind of, and I learned this from Steve, some kind of something, knowledge, value for that person. Not just, hey, I'm Tanner, do you want to buy or sell a house? Like, okay, on to the next. Just what do you have there? Or if you have a legitimate buyer, right? Talk about that buyer, who it is. That's kind of what I strike around. And when I have buyers, I'm like, hey, drive around. Tell me what houses you like. I will go and knock on those homes. I do that because you're going that extra mile. Like, no one does that. Be selective and specific about what you're knocking on, and always do your research. I used to go blind door knocking. It was the dumbest thing. I looked like such an idiot. They're like, oh, I sold my house 2 years ago. Oh, guys, do you want to sell? It's been 2 years, But when they just sold 3 months ago, yeah, it doesn't look good. Always do your research, yeah.
Then I guess for your first year, you were probably approaching it a little different than you do now. So that first year when you were in LA, how were you door knocking, or what was your strategy at that point?
Just talking to everybody in the neighborhood, just introducing myself, letting them know that I'm, actively working that neighborhood, that I do have active buyers, that I'm available if they need you. Rather coming off like you're not really selling, people want to work with you, right? If you're not just throwing stuff in their face, they'll respond better to you. Yeah. Thank you.
It's the confidence. She was always looking for business. She wasn't hesitant. She wasn't afraid of anything. She wanted to get business. If you're going to knock on doors, you go there for one reason, to get business. That's why you knock. Otherwise, what's the point? Okay?
Hi, I found your everything you said very inspirational.
Oh, thank
All
you.
for girl power. Also, just with door knocking, I've actually had experience doing that when I was working for a magazine. So I'm like, all right, if I can sell print, I feel like I can sell anything.
Right.
But with that, you have like one product, and I'm also sort of a perfectionist. So I'm planning to do a lot of door knocking next week, and my one fear I'm kind of like worried about is like, what if someone asks me like, what's my house worth? So how would you approach that, especially when you're kind of new, didn't really know exactly what anything was worth?
Just go with the comps, just if you drive that area, do the comps, drive around every house in maybe a quarter mile or a half mile that's sold in the last year, because that's what's relevant, and know all of those homes and have them with you. I bring comps with me with notes. So I can go back and say, well, did you know that this one sold? Or something sold off market? Call Brandon from Fidelity, find out what's sold, off market, so you can at least reference that.
Yeah.
You don't want to go in blind. You need to know what you're talking about in that area, for sure. And that's all available to you, luckily. Yeah.
And then my other question is also, I have no problem kind of hitting up strangers and constantly bothering them, but I do have like a good network of friends or, boyfriends or husbands, and I'm very cautious, I guess,
How many boyfriends do you have?
Sorry. Friends,
How
boyfriends.
many husbands?
Only one fiance so far. No, just kidding. So I guess I want to know, because I feel like I'm sort of a bulldog when it comes to like people I don't know, because you can kind of see them more in the business light. And with my other careers in my past, like none of my friends really worked in that, so it was totally cool going hard with random people. But with people that you do have that kind of relationship where you don't want to be too aggressive, or how do you balance that?
It just becomes a conversation, like, hey, how's work? Okay, well, it just becomes a conversation, like, oh, I went to this panel, or talk about what you're doing, or what you...
She's very personable.
Yeah.
And so she's going to engage people in conversation, get them talking, and eventually, if there's an opening, she's going to take it.
But don't be scared to ask for business. Like, my whole fiance's family would like make fun of me, like, oh, here comes Meredith, do you want to buy or sell a house? Like, it was like a running joke for like a year, like literally, like everybody.
She's got a sign on her forehead.
Yeah, like, let me know if you want to buy or sell. Like, who cares? Like, hey guys, like, I'll take care of you. Like, offer something to them. Like, no one, you don't have to like say an amount, but like, don't worry, I will totally take care of you. If you know anybody, I really appreciate it. I'm just getting started in this business right now. Like, I'll take good care of them. Like, I'm on it. You know I'll hustle. You know I'll follow through. Like, you can trust me. You know, like gain that trust. And then people, but like nobody that knew me referred me any business for the first 2 years. It was like, I was like getting in fights with my fiance. Like, no one you know is referring me. But that won't happen until you prove yourself.
Yeah.
I did business with people that didn't know me. Now people, it's crazy, that know me are like, oh yeah, Meredith, like she's closed a few deals, like work with her. But in that first like 2.5, 3 years, nobody that knew me referred me business. It's pretty actually interesting. I was really pissed about it. I like lost friends, like screw them. Like they don't want to refer me, like it's okay. But you have to get that trust and gain that from people to feel comfortable with you. It's all about their like security with you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Great. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Okay, your name is?
Hi, I'm Lindsay from Sotheby's in Los Feliz, and a lot of people have already covered the technical questions I have for you, but I'm really interested in how you overcame your emotional hurdles, because I can
She
really...
hasn't.
Well, I identify with that a
pretty
lot,
messed
and
up.
like crying in the car, and
Yeah.
you know, I know a lot of it is just dealing with it and moving through it. Do you have any like specific catalysts that really...
I just started working out like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that I box and I play tennis, and I just like every time someone pisses, I like think about their face on that ball, you know, like, or like that bag. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, working out has been the best thing for me, and it just makes you feel better about yourself. It just gives you energy. But that's not all it is.
Right.
I mean, I was actively in therapy, no joke. I think therapy's great.
Yeah.
And I think just kind of talking yourself out of your craziness, because you are your biggest, you're your biggest critic. Like, I psych myself out before I go door knocking every time.
Yeah.
I make up every excuse not to go. And when I get out, I feel so good. Like, I feel so good. Like, it doesn't matter that 5 people told me no. I still talk to them. It's more than not. You know, so it's like, I just feel like if you're like, all right, cool, like on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, like if you let it get you, you go in insecure.
Yeah.
I used to go into listing appointments insecure. I'm like, oh, I won't get it. And you don't get it when you go in with that attitude. It's pretty bad. People pick up on it, you know. So,
Great, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay, Allison?
Hi, Meredith. Thank you
Hi.
so much.
Thank you.
Can you share with us what you say at the door? Do you have a script that you go with, or does it just depend on the situation?
I can't share it. No, I'm just kidding. It's really not that amazing. It just depends on what I'm doing. You know, if you say, hey, if I sold a house, it's different. If I have a new listing, first I say, hi, I'm Meredith. I work at the John Howard Group in Beverly Hills. Do you have a quick minute? You know, I want to come off and ask them if they have a quick minute. Because rather than going into like my whole spiel, like, who are you? Like, I introduce myself. I just say, hey, do you have a quick minute? I promise I have no weapons. I like joke. I try to make people laugh. People are like, whoa, what are you like? If you're in Englewood saying that, you know, they'll, you know, but most other areas you're good. But just kind of ask, do they have time? And then tell them what my purpose is for stopping by the door. If I have a new listing, hey, just wanted to let you know, just listed, blah, blah, blah. Let me know if you're available to stop by. I'll be there on Sunday. Always invite people to the open house. Steve has taught me this for years. Like, go with something. Like, if you're always sit in open house. If you don't have an open house, always sit open house. Open houses were like that's like where I just got sucked everybody from. Go there with a purpose. If it's a buyer, seller, listing.
If you don't have a listing currently, maybe you just sold something, but you don't have anything right now.
Yeah, if you've just sold something, great reason to go. Hey, I just sold this house down the street. I have a lot of buyers. We had X, Y, and Z offers. Are you interested? Do you know anybody that is? It's always, do you know anybody else? Not just you. Okay, you don't want, who do you know? How can I help that person?
Great,
So,
thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Anyone else? Questions for Meredith?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What's up?
awesome, you drop a lot of knowledge. But the one that sticks out the most is where it's like the balance between fear of loss, originally you had, and then keep pushing until they say no. So how do you find that balance between, oh my God, if I push too much, I might lose them?
She doesn't have, that's never an issue with her.
Yeah.
Pushing too much, do you know what it means?
Not really.
No.
Because it kind of then ends up just blowing up.
No, she's getting to an answer. End of story.
And
yes
hopefully
or no, it's going to be
it.
yes.
Gotcha.
She is not subtle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think just going
She's enthusiastic. She's energetic. It's always with, I can help you. I can do this for you.
Yeah.
It's that positive energy that she puts out.
Yeah. You want people to be excited about working with you. You want to be excited about it, even if you're not.
She wants to do business. That's what she
Right.
wants to do. She's not worried what they think. Oh, am I too pushy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard her. Her relatives make fun of her.
No, it's just that when she was mentioning how earlier in her career, she's like, how could she just let go? And so just taught her how to let go. So it's more of like, that's what I was trying to put together. But of course, maybe it'd be two different timelines.
Well, I mean, when she gets a no, then she's forced to let go. Okay? But she's not letting go until she's forced to let go.
But you still follow up.
Right.
Even if they tell you no, you still follow up in 2 weeks. When they listed with Joe Schmo, in 6 months, when the listing expires and they come back to you, call and find out how that listing, I just got a $12.5 million listing from someone that listed with someone else the first time around. So call and follow up when they didn't sell that house. Track everything.
So you're just like, hey, 2 weeks later, you email them or you call them
I
and just go?
always call. I don't like the emailing or texting. Our generation's all messed up.
Yeah.
I call people. I get on the phone.
All right,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
you're
dope.
welcome. Thank you. Did you say you called 2 weeks after they list with someone?
No, she calls them every day.
I call them
Relentless. Relentless, okay? How many email blasts do you send out? You sell a home and you send...
Yeah. Well, every time I sell a home, I send an email blast.
You're going to send 50 email blasts. She's going to let everybody know she sold that home.
Yeah.
Whatever she does, people are going to know about it.
Social media.
She is not bashful.
Everything.
Making me get some
And then
exercise
you see who unsubscribed from your email blast. That's fun too. Yeah. Then you got to re-add them if you can.
Well, when you're not with a large brokerage, there are not a lot of systems set in place, and so. When you get back in the business or new in the business, you get a lot of the advertisements that's coming your way. Right. And so when you set the system, like what system do you use? And if you don't have or a top producer or anything like that, is it just simply putting it on the calendar? Because right now I just use my Google Calendar because I haven't subscribed or purchased.
Are there any systems that you're using specifically for you and your business?
I use Contactually. And I honestly have a list, no joke, it's called my Hangout list. It literally lists everybody in my sphere, when I saw them last, and when I want to follow up with them again. And I just put everything in my phone, Spoke to Joe Schmo today, call in 2 weeks. Reminder, call in 2 weeks.
There's no waiting in her game, okay? She's not waiting around for anything. Any other questions? Tom?
Hey, Meredith.
Hey, Tom.
Good to see you.
Good to see you
I'm
too.
a big fan just from hearing you, and we've had conversations about your history. Two things about your prospecting. You said you door knock and you call Joe Schmo you with your follow-up.
Yeah.
You do both, obviously. So when you're penetrating these markets, I mean, you've got Playa Vista, West LA, $1 million, $2 million, all the way up to the $12 million deal you just got.
Yeah.
So were you going after like specifically door knocking in Bel Air and Beverly Hills to get those, or you're just like, I'm going to get the business where it comes, no matter what? So your mindset was just like
anything. I'll take it all. Give me your lease when I first started, give me anything.
Like
Just create the relationships. Anything you can do what the other people don't want to do. Work with the buyer that, made 10 offers that, hates all real estate agents. Why are you better,
So a lot of that, was that because of you being on a team with Sally, or you strike me as someone who just like, I'm gonna get this anyway. If you were like alone on Hawaii on a desert island, you'd find someone to sell a home to, but because just your mindset. So how much of that do you attribute to being on a team with those resources versus just you just muscling through it?
Being on a team is a huge asset to my business. I mean, Sally's a legend. She's been in the business forever, longer than I've been alive. Yeah, I mean, using the name, using the reputation, using that history of transactions, that's a huge reason. I would sink right now if I went alone because there's so much to do and it's a lot of money to pay for the staff. So I think being on a team is big, or using your resources of your company to your advantage. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm just going to ask,
Yeah.
what type of commission split do you pay for that advantage of being on a successful long-term team?
Yeah, that's like
It's all,
confidential.
every
Yeah.
team is going to be different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be different, so. It's going to, most team agents are at a 50% split. Some have a graduated plan. You know, it all depends on the team.
Yeah. That's like the one thing I probably can't disclose.
Meredith, thank
Yeah,
you
thank
very
you.
much.